Four ordinary hotel employees secretly form a highly skilled robbery crew, but nobody would ever guess how dangerous they really are. Blending in like normal workers, they pull off a series of major heists with shocking precision, leaving both the police and intelligence agencies completely clueless. Their latest targets are wealthy guests staying at the luxurious Imperial Hotel, who keep getting robbed on their way home without realizing they were carefully selected in advance. Meanwhile, a ruthless private agent named Elias is hired to stop the mysterious gang. Elias is known for his brutal methods and zero mercy. After violently interrogating a scammer inside a casino, he receives an urgent mission connected to the Imperial Hotel robberies. The hotel owner personally asks him to track down the criminals responsible for the attacks that have been happening for months. As the investigation begins, the story shifts to Norah, a young employee working at the Imperial Hotel, who appears completely innocent on the surface. But behind the scenes, she may be connected to something far bigger and far more dangerous than anyone expects. Norah works at the Imperial Hotel handling valet parking, greeting wealthy guests and bringing their cars in and out of the parking lot. To everyone around her, she looks like just another underpaid hotel employee, but in reality, she is one of the masterminds behind a professional carjacking crew. Her partners, Zoe, Steve, and Prestance, also work inside the hotel as staff members, blending in as bartenders, receptionists, and hotel attendants. During their shifts, the group secretly studies rich guests, carefully selecting targets before following them after they leave the hotel. Once the victim is isolated, they block the car and steal everything with perfect coordination. One day, while working outside, Norah notices a car parked in a restricted area near the hotel entrance. Frustrated, she demands to know who left it there because getting blamed could put her job at risk. A man named Jalil eventually returns to the car with his young daughter. After confirming he is not a hotel guest, Norah sharply orders him to move the vehicle immediately. Jalil calmly replies that she could have asked more politely, but Norah brushes him off without caring at all. Jalil jokes to his daughter that Norah acts like she owns the entire hotel. Before Norah can fire back, Jalil gets a phone call and walks away. A short time later, a wealthy businessman leaves the hotel after a meeting and casually tips Norah with a large amount of cash. The crew immediately realizes he is carrying serious money in his briefcase and decides to make him their next target during lunch break. As soon as their shift break begins, Norah and her team follow the man using both a car and a motorcycle. After chasing him for a while, they shoot out his tires and force the vehicle to stop. To intimidate everyone inside, they fire several more shots at the car. But the crew is caught off guard when an armed bodyguard suddenly opens fire from inside the vehicle. Steve gets hit during the shootout, though his bulletproof vest saves him from serious injury. Norah's team quickly returns fire and takes control of the situation. The businessman tries escaping with the briefcase, but Prestance catches him before he gets far. Norah threatens him with a knife until he unlocks the case, revealing it completely packed with cash. While collecting the money, Norah notices one of their own vehicles was also hit by gunfire during the ambush. Despite the danger, Norah and Prestance decide to help the injured escort woman from the robbery and secretly drop her off at a hospital. The move is extremely risky because it could easily expose the entire crew, but they do it anyway. Afterward, they quickly return to the Imperial Hotel and continue working like nothing happened. Norah ends up arriving late and the manager notices, but she escapes with only a warning this time. Meanwhile, Elias meets privately with the hotel owner, who explains that the same robbery crew has targeted multiple luxury hotels over the last 4 years without leaving behind a single useful clue. Police still have no idea what weapons or vehicles the gang uses, which is why the owner wants the investigation handled quietly. Elias asks to question the latest victim, Debers, along with the escort woman who survived the attack. However, the owner refuses to let him bother Debers because he is an important regular guest, though he gives Elias complete freedom to deal with the escort however he wants. Later that evening, Norah runs into Jalil again at the hotel, where he has just started working as a pianist. His music catches Norah's attention, and the two begin talking. Jalil seems interested in getting closer to her, but Norah leaves early to meet her crew and their partner Luis outside the city. Luis mainly helps the crew by handling stolen goods and keeping the team organized behind the scenes. After the recent robbery, he becomes worried about the escort woman who was shot during the attack because if the case gains too much attention, the entire operation could fall apart. He warns Norah to be more careful on future jobs. The rest of the crew is also shaken by what happened, so they review their mistakes and begin weapons training to improve their accuracy and avoid another disaster. Meanwhile, Elias visits the injured escort woman at the hospital and immediately starts questioning her about the robbers. At first, she refuses to say anything, claiming everyone wore masks and she could not identify them. In reality, she clearly remembers seeing Norah and Prestance during the attack, but she realizes Elias is not a real police officer and decides to use the situation for money instead. She demands payment in exchange for information and tells Elias to contact her boss if he wants her cooperation. Elias has no patience for negotiations. Since he operates outside the law, he uses fear instead. After digging up personal information about her family, he threatens to kill her son, who lives with his grandmother. Terrified, the woman finally agrees to reveal everything after leaving the hospital, and Elias orders her to meet him at the hotel. Elias fully throws himself into the investigation and starts kidnapping suspected criminals for brutal interrogations. One of the captives finally reveals an important clue. The robbery crew has inside help from hotel employees who secretly provide information on wealthy guests. The man also admits he indirectly worked with the gang years earlier and remembers that one member was an American woman, giving Elias his first real lead connected to Norah's team. With this new information, Elias intensifies the hunt. Meanwhile, Zoe uses her position at the hotel reception desk to access guest records and identify wealthy targets. After selecting their next victim, she shares the details with the crew, and the group begins planning another robbery. But Norah starts losing focus as her relationship with Jalil grows closer. One day, Jalil brings his young daughter to work because, after his wife's death, he has been raising her alone and has nobody to watch her. The hotel manager immediately becomes angry, insisting that children are not allowed inside a luxury hotel. Just as the situation escalates, Norah finishes her shift and steps in to help. She offers to watch the little girl herself, which finally calms the manager down and leaves Jalil genuinely grateful. After helping with Jalil's daughter, Norah and Jalil grow much closer. Their relationship quickly becomes personal, and before long they are sharing quiet family dinners together and developing real feelings for each other. While Norah gets emotionally distracted, Elias continues pushing hard on the investigation. He gathers photos and background details on every hotel employee, carefully studying even the smallest clues. During one interrogation, Elias notices Norah outside the hotel lobby, expertly maneuvering a luxury car through the parking area with impressive precision. Her driving skills immediately stand out to him, especially after hearing earlier that an American woman was involved in the robbery crew. From that moment, Norah officially lands on his suspect list. The next day, Norah is working outside the hotel when a familiar car pulls up. She quickly realizes the passenger is the escort woman who was shot during the robbery. As the woman steps out, she stares directly at Norah in a way that instantly raises alarm bells. Norah panics and secretly warns the rest of her crew that the woman may have recognized her. Already nervous, Norah becomes even more anxious when the manager suddenly informs her that she has been called upstairs. When she enters the room, she finds Elias actively interrogating the escort woman face to face. Elias shows the escort woman photos of the hotel staff and asks if she recognizes anyone from the robbery. She briefly looks at Norah but lies, claiming all the robbers wore masks and that she never saw their faces. Elias keeps pushing, asking whether the crew included any women. He indirectly points toward Norah, describing someone strong and confident like her, but the woman again lies and insists every robber was male. Elias finally lets her leave, but as she walks past Norah near the doorway, the two exchange a tense glance that immediately catches Elias's attention. He then begins questioning Norah directly. Calm and controlled, Norah answers every question without panicking while continuing to act like an innocent hotel employee. Even so, Elias makes it clear through his tone that he suspects her involvement and warns that he will eventually catch the robbery crew no matter what. After dismissing Norah, Elias continues watching her closely. Meanwhile, another incident erupts inside the hotel. A female staff member cleaning a guest room is harassed by Peter, the spoiled son of a wealthy diamond businessman staying at the hotel. Furious and humiliated, she leaves the room and reports what happened to the other employees, creating chaos among the staff. When Norah hears about the situation, she becomes visibly angry. The hotel owner tries to quietly cover up Peter's disgusting behavior because he does not want to lose such a wealthy client. He orders the manager to settle the situation by any means necessary, even if it requires paying off the victim. After overhearing the conversation, Norah realizes the assaulted employee will never receive real justice from the hotel. Furious, she decides to punish Peter herself while also turning him into the crew's next robbery target. Elias notices Norah's angry reaction and becomes even more suspicious of her aggressive behavior. When Norah presents the plan to her crew, some members hesitate, Peter came to the hotel for a diamond deal and is not carrying large amounts of cash, meaning the robbery would involve stealing diamonds instead. Selling stolen diamonds would be extremely risky and could expose the entire group. But Norah insists the score would be worth enough for all of them to quit crime forever. Her confidence eventually convinces the team to move forward with the job. The next day, tensions inside the hotel continue growing because of the assault scandal, so management secretly escorts Peter out for his own safety. Elias had already predicted Norah might retaliate, so he keeps Peter under surveillance. As soon as Peter reaches the highway, Norah and her crew launch their attack. Norah's crew launches the ambush by unloading heavy gunfire and forcing Peter's vehicle to stop on the highway. Even though Peter has an armed bodyguard inside the car, Norah quickly takes control by pointing a gun directly at him and shocking him with a taser before stealing the briefcase filled with diamonds. But the escape instantly turns chaotic when Elias suddenly arrives with his men and opens fire. Norah fights back while speeding away, leading to a dangerous high-speed chase. Using her elite driving skills, she causes one of Elias's vehicles to crash and flip over, buying the crew valuable time. She then suddenly cuts onto a side road, making Elias fall farther behind. Moments later, Steve arrives with another getaway car, allowing the team to switch vehicles before tossing a grenade into the abandoned one. When Elias's men reach the car and start shooting at it, the grenade explodes in a massive blast. Nobody is killed, but Elias finally realizes he is dealing with highly trained criminals. Later, the crew regroups and splits the stolen money while planning to disappear from the city before things get worse. Meanwhile, a furious Peter hires Elias to hunt them down and kill them at any cost. He also reveals that a tracking device is hidden inside the stolen diamonds, giving Elias a way to track the crew's location. Norah wants a real future with Jalil, so she finally confesses the truth about her life and admits that she was behind the robberies. At first, Jalil thinks she is joking, but Norah proves it by showing him stacks of stolen cash. The revelation completely changes everything. Jalil only wants a quiet life focused on raising his daughter, and he refuses to get involved in anything that could put her in danger. Unable to accept Norah's criminal life, he ends the relationship and walks away. Heartbroken, Norah returns to the hideout and isolates herself in the bathtub, while the rest of the crew relaxes in separate rooms. But before anyone realizes what is happening, Elias tracks them down using the hidden device inside the diamonds. He ambushes Norah in the bathroom, forcing her underwater and nearly drowning her. Norah fights back desperately but cannot match his strength and eventually loses consciousness. Steve rushes in to save her, leading to a brutal fight with Elias. Although Steve manages to injure him, Elias ultimately overpowers and kills him. When Norah regains consciousness, she quickly gathers the cash and diamonds before checking on the others. She discovers that Elias has already murdered Zoe and Prestance in their sleep without giving them any chance to defend themselves. Horrified and alone, Norah escapes the building while Elias continues tracking her every move through the hidden tracker. As Elias keeps tracking her location, Norah finally realizes the diamonds contain a hidden tracker. She immediately throws the diamonds away and hides nearby. Elias eventually finds the bag but loses Norah's trail, so he leaves with the diamonds instead. Now completely alone, Norah decides to avenge her murdered crew. The next day, she returns to the hotel and forces the manager at gunpoint to hand over his access badge and tablet containing guest information. After locking him inside a car trunk, she searches through the hotel records and discovers that an arms dealer is staying there. Norah breaks into the guest's room and steals several weapons before heading straight to Peter's suite. Even with armed guards protecting him, Norah storms inside and kills Peter in front of them. By then, the manager has already escaped and warned the hotel owner, who immediately contacts Elias. Norah then takes control of the owner's office and forces him to call Elias into the room without raising suspicion. But Elias senses the trap before entering. Instead of walking in alone, he arrives holding Jalil hostage. Knowing Jalil is now the only person Norah truly cares about, Elias uses him as leverage to force her into surrendering. When Norah asks what he wants, Elias makes it clear that everything he does is for money. He knows Norah still has the stolen cash, and that is exactly what he came for. Forced into a corner, Norah leads Elias to the hidden stash of stolen money. While pulling out the bags, she secretly grabs a knife. At the same moment, Jalil attacks Elias, giving Norah an opening to fight back. During the struggle, she stabs Elias in the leg before escaping with Jalil. Elias fires several shots at them, but they manage to get away unharmed. A short distance later, Norah hands Jalil the money and tells him to run, while she heads in another direction. Elias chooses to chase Jalil instead, following him all the way to the beach. There, Norah suddenly attacks from the side and knocks Elias to the ground. A brutal final fight breaks out between them. ending when Norah drives the knife deep into Elias's stomach. At first, she prepares to walk away, but memories of her murdered friends push her over the edge. Consumed by rage, she repeatedly stabs Elias until he finally dies. Norah believes everything is finally over, but Jalil can no longer see her the same way after witnessing her violent side. He realizes he cannot build a future with someone living such a dangerous and deadly life. Leaving the money behind, Jalil walks away from her forever. In the end, Norah is left completely alone, wandering beside the ocean with millions of dollars, but nobody left to share her life with.